And we're ready to choose what sort of a baby you want. Now, you want your baby to be a baby?
Yes.
Good, that's a start. Now, what sex, male or female?
Male.
Male, good. Skin pigment, dark or fair?
Fair.
Fair. Hair colour, blonde or black?
Blonde.
Blonde, good. General stature, tall and thin or short and stocky?
Short and stocky.
Excellent. Right, general texture, fur or quilted?
Fur or quilted?
Yes, you don't want the little nipper bouncing out into the world in the raw when you can use all of genetic science to have him born in his own little fur or quilted bag.
What do you think, dear?
Well, let's take the quilt.
Very good, excellent, excellent. Now, general aptitude. You want him to be artistic or a welder?
A welder.
Good, good, good. Mouth, tongue or dipstick?
What?
Dipstick, you know, tongue or dipstick. A tongue is very, very, very fat, and a dipstick is very, very much thinner, and will enable your baby to suck flies out of soda bottles.
Tongue, please.
Tongue, good, good, good. Feet or pods?
Pods?
Pods, you know, pods. Increases the baby's motor skills.
Pods.
Pods, good.
Live from the art fair in the gymnasium at Roll Cage High School in Summit, it's Saturday Night Dive.
Very nice. Hi, Zach Hall.
Hi, it's Zach Pruitt.
We are in the Circle 2 Lounge at Disc Golf Mart, Indianapolis.
Yeah, we
are brought to you by Four Finger Discount.
Four Finger Discount!
We are reachable as a podcast, both on social media at Sat Night Dive Pod and on email at Saturday. And you can email us. And you can
email us at SaturdayNightDivePod@gmail.com.
Yeah, and please do. We love to hear your thoughts all the time.
And I'm old, so email's like the only way you can reach me.
Yeah. Yeah, you can send them by Pony Express, your thoughts on the podcast. His address is...
SaturdayNightDivePod@gmail.com.
Well, Zach Hall, the vibe is off this morning.
It's a bummer.
So I think we should probably get that out of the way immediately.
Yeah.
We're recording this the morning after.
Mere hours.
Yeah. Like last night at midnight our time, around maybe a couple hours before. Anyway, the spew of string of news events that led up to the revelation that actor-director Rob Reiner was murdered along with his wife in his home last night.
Yeah. It's very tragic. Obviously, just even the fact that we lost Rob and his wife Michelle in the same night is bad. And then the more and more you find out about it, the worse it gets.
Yeah, things are still coming out right now, and you're right. Every single thing you hear is just awful. Mm-hmm. So right now, that's kind of the headspace that we're in. This is really dark to be talking about SNL so close to... We've talked about Rob Reiner on the show quite a few times.
Last week.
So it's dark to think about this right now. Yeah. In general. It's tough. Rob, in his episode in season 1, really, for me, got the ball rolling on this is what I'm in for.
It's kind of set the bar.
In fact, this episode has connections to the Rob Reiner episode a little bit in a host that comes to the show and really comes to play. And I don't know, he was just so funny as an actor. He could also be quite serious and quite good as an actor. He has some really great moments in All in the Family and some of his movies where he was a tremendous actor, but he gave that up at a point to become a very good director. Yeah. Directing so many classic films. His lineup is so stacked.
It's his lineup is a veritable who's who of films that impacted multi-generations of people.
In so many different areas, too.
Completely.
Like Stand By Me, Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, among with many other, Spinal Tap, among with many others. Those are all monoliths in film for different circles of film lovers. And I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't really think while he was alive that he quite got that recognition. I mean, he was respected. People love him. He was an outspoken man in politics. He was just, seemed like, I don't really have the permission to use a word like this, but like the word mensch comes to mind.
I use that word all the time.
Yeah, of just a good guy and a super talented guy. And I don't know that he quite got the credit for his very impressive directing work as a whole while he was alive. Do you?
I mean, I hope so. I can't say whether or not he was given enough credit, but I certainly this morning it's coming kind of pouring out from every news outlet.
I think he will certainly be remembered
Absolutely.
for.
We were robbed of a really good one here.
Yeah. Just months after finally making and releasing the Spinal Tap sequel, which feels, I mean, I'm trying to, there's no bright side to this, but
Not one.
which seems like a fitting final film in his career to return to an idea like that and to be on camera and to direct again. But what a shame. What a loss. What a dark fucking way to go.
I think that we actually noted in the Rob Reiner episode, talking about the original Spinal Tap, that he had written himself into that film originally, but they didn't feel like he looked very good in all the tight spandex and latex, so they kind of didn't have him be in the film and be more just director.
Interesting. I would have loved a version of Spinal Tap where he's in the band. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So rest in peace, Rob Reiner. Rest in peace, his wife, Michelle. What a loss. What a dark chapter in Hollywood history and in Saturday Night Live history and television history that we're living in right now. Of course, this is so directly affecting what we talk about every week, so it feels like something I have to focus on. There was a hugely disappointing college campus shooting this past week. It has been a dark week. Tough news all around. So we're not a news podcast. We're not going to reflect on all of it. Yeah. But what a morning is what I'm trying to say. And rest in peace, Rob. Rest in peace, Michelle. Fuck.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to make any levity of any of that because that is all extremely serious and important. But can I give you some good news? Can we lighten it up a little bit?
Please.
The Kansas City Chiefs have been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, and they may have lost Patrick Mahomes for the season. Oh,
I thought this was good news.
That felt so good to say.
Wait, you hate Mahomes?
I cannot handle the Kansas City Chiefs in any form.
Okay.
And I'm so glad.
You son of a bitch.
I know. No. The Bucs suffered a very embarrassing loss at home with many layers that made me sad.
Second to that.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh, yeah. It's the Merry Christmas time because this episode will come out as close to Christmas as we have.
Everybody, hug the people you love so tight. If you have a crew that you spend the holiday with, really enjoy your time with them this year. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all of that gross nonsense. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
You a Christmas guy? We've talked about this. Your mom's a big Christmas guy. You're not so much a Christmas guy. My mom's enough of a Christmas person for all of us. Are you going to get to see her for Christmas? Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoy it. And I hope that she gets a good Christmas surprise out of you. Let's talk about Saturday Night Live icebreaker, ? Yeah, it's going to be the Josh O'Connor episode Blitz. I was really happy with a lot of that episode. Okay. Especially the first half of it. I found every sketch really funny. I found Josh O'Connor fit in so well in just about every sketch. And I thought it was a great cast episode. There were sketches that were really making me laugh in the first half. Not that the second half was bad. Lily Allen didn't do a ton for me, honestly. Right. I don't have anything against Lily Allen, but these songs, and especially her performances of them, didn't do a ton for me. I thought it was a really fun episode. What did you think? The Trump Air Force One cold open was meh. I'm getting a little over that. Everybody is getting a little sick of Trump in every single cold open all the time. Yeah. But Ashley as KK Caroline is kind of fun. I had to really keep my cool when they kept zooming into her mouth. Yeah. I didn't really understand what they were referencing. So, no, I didn't either. So that's another reason why I was kind of meh on it. Yeah. But Des Meeks was funny in it. So obviously. Yeah. The monologue was really well written, but I thought his timing was so rushed that he kind of trampled it. Yeah, I would have taken even more of that monologue. I think they could have gone farther with the Ratatouille thing. I thought that was very funny. It's just funny that he would try to move off of it and then kept coming back to it. But he wasn't pausing enough. Like, come on, master pause. Like, you got to understand. That's where some of that comedy comes from, is that you just can't move on. You didn't really know who Josh O'Connor was going into the episode. How did you feel about him? He was all right. Not too bad. Like, British, so he came off as charming to me. That's how it works. It's better in his film work, but his American accent, when he's really locked into it, is very convincing. Cool. I think. There was a sketch, I think, that he was playing an American, and then he said something that was a 100% British accent. Yes. And then he got back to the American one. I think he was just having fun. Yeah.
The Bachelorette strippers was kind of fun.
That was a really funny sketch. Man, I didn't, because of everything going on, I didn't look at the list as much. There was a sketch at the very beginning of the episode after the monologue that I'm not remembering. I just know that I laughed so hard incredibly throughout the whole thing.
There was another one, the Let's Find Love, the game show thing with, obviously, Keenan always kills it as a game show host. O'Connor was the game show contestant, and it was like a matchmaking type of situation. They have Ashley Padilla as an old lady a very eccentric old lady on a motor scooter. And I saw there was a stand at the back of it. I knew somebody was going to get on the back of that thing. But they basically are giving Padilla the Kate McKinnon treatment already.
That's what it was. I thought the dating show sketch, that is a concept we've seen so many times, but there was something about Keenan, Josh, and Ashley in this sketch that everything they were doing was making me laugh. I think they could have made Ashley look more like an old lady. But I love, it was the rant of like, I got to get my vitamins right. I got to get my salmons right. I got to get and she just kept going and it kept getting weirder. And then the turn at the end really worked for me when it wasn't that she ran off with Josh or something happened with them. It was her and Keenan. Keenan started getting all his stuff right. I thought that was a really, really funny sketch.
He never gets picked. The Wizard of Oz one was kind of
a big old thing.
Yeah, it was the big old thing.
It was a big bow and heavy night.
Yep.
So we had the return of Dr. Please.
Oh my God, Dr. Please is so good.
That was a good one and one of my favorites of those. And Josh O'Connor, I think, really shined in that.
He was so funny in that.
Yeah.
As the weird emo sidekick. Mm-hmm. Hilarious.
What was his name? Susan, please.
Yeah, Susan,
please.
Shirley.
Shirley, please. Yeah, of course. Yeah. And when they were like, I hope we're not related, kiss. Well... Yeah. It turns out you are related. Oh, then I guess we should stop doing this. Josh O'Connor kissed all the boys. He kissed Ben as well in the stripper sketch, which was very funny.
The Dr. Please, God, when he said that his name was Shirley, I laughed for like 45 full seconds, like as loud as I could. It was like the reverse on the Stop Calling Me Shirley. Like it was a reverse of
very well done.
The Lily Allen brunch was kind of meh.
I probably liked it as much, if not more, than all of her musical performances. I thought it was kind of fun.
I skipped the musical performances, so I cannot compare them.
Okay.
Weekend Update was pretty great.
Well, do you know, like, the tea about Lily Allen's new album?
I don't know anything about anything.
She was married to David Harbour from Stranger Things.
Okay, I know that guy.
And they got a divorce, and he, like, cheated on her and was, like, apparently not a very good dude to her.
Okay.
And this new album is pretty much tell all about that. All the songs are about the end of a relationship, and it gets pretty specific.
Neat. That's the stuff that I really need to concern myself about. Weekend Update was super fun, minus the guests. Jenna,
you didn't like Marcelo?
So Jenna's not a big fan of when the Weekend Update guest is just a cast member as themselves.
Oh, sure. But Jenna's not here.
And Marcelo,
you're allowed to like it.
No shit. But like Marcelo in particular, that one was okay. Jane doing a song. Jane's song was kind of more fun than Marcelo. But either way, like I would have rather had like a character. I would have rather had somebody doing a character.
That's fair. I didn't dislike either of them. In fact, Marcelo, for as much as he talks about not wanting to just be the Hispanic guy on the show, he certainly does that voice all the time.
He leans into it pretty
hard. The joke of always getting phone calls from someone saying they're Santa or Spider-Man or Lorne Michaels, and then never actually revealing that, of course, it's his dad or his uncle or something, because we all know that he never felt the need to put a button on that, I thought was really good. And the button being, it's me, your boss, Lorne Michaels, and I'm with my brother, Jimmy Fallon. I thought that was really funny. And if I worked on SNL, I could see like my grandpa talking about SNL in the same way, just like regurgitating the couple of guys' names that he knows. I liked it.
There was a moment in the episode, and I cannot remember when now, when somebody cracked a joke, I think it was Keenan, and there was like 1 or 2 laughs, or actually it might have been Che. There's like 1 or 2 laughs, and he goes, I knew you'd like that one, Lorne. Like it was like you could hear Lorne laughing from under the bleachers. I don't know. It sounded.
And then a couple jokes later, he was like, I knew you weren't gonna like that one.
Yeah. Weekend Update. I would have always just rather had more Jost and Che doing jokes than having the guests on. Especially since this weekend it felt like there was a couple where Jost got the better of Che, where Che had to acknowledge that it was funny, or Che like broke for a second on accident.
There was a lot to talk about this week.
I love it.
I want to go back to Jane for just a second. I have to always preface, I feel like that when I talk about Jane, that like I met her for 30 seconds. She was very kind to me. and it makes me root for her very hard. I feel
Go
that
Jane.
there's something so genuine about Jane.
Genuine.
She, like when she was in that stripper sketch delivering lines, it's not that good. It's awkward, it's stunted, but there's something about her as opposed to like anybody else that there's something like endearing about it to me. And I might be biased. I probably am. The song was okay.
Sure.
The thing being about Stranger Things was whatever. There were a couple fun moments of Jane being kind of a bully in that song. And there were honestly, there were a lot of really clever lyrics.
Sure.
It's more the concept and sometimes the awkward delivery that kind of stunts it a little bit. But I'm rooting so hard for her, and she got more screen time this week in, I don't know, ever maybe.
I don't know.
So good for her.
Yeah.
I think her and Veronica maybe have a thing going now. So I'm hoping that this is the start of her really finding her place on the show, but we'll see.
Yeah. That's basically my thoughts on the episode.
Oh, I really liked the Uber Eats Wrapped pre-tape. I thought that was quite funny.
I don't want that. It's
And especially when James Austin Johnson as Ashley's husband pokes her in the belly and makes the Pillsbury Doughboy noise. God. And she turns and goes, "What woman would ever appreciate that?" And how intense and real she was, and how silly and stupid the husband. It was such a weird but hilarious and real moment in a sketch that had nothing to do with that.
and then he did it again.
Of course he did.
So good.
Oh, the return of Brad and his dad. They've
Return
been doing
of
these
Brad. Oh, yeah.
cartoons. I like Brad and his dad.
I think everybody does. That's why it came back.
It feels really current, and it's got this weird millennial Gen Zer sweetness to it.
Yeah.
So at the end when he called and he's like, "I get to come over with you for Christmas," I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta go.
I love should I go put my full Riz on this girl? Yeah, go for it, buddy.
Yeah, Riz her down
Hey.
too.
Look at that. 6'7".
I love 6'7".
Okay, bye. It was really funny. I liked it. Oh, I thought now that I'm getting towards the end, the actors on actors sketch was pretty funny. The Christmas characters talking to each other in the actors studio.
Yes.
I thought was silly. I liked everything about the college sketch where Bowen played a 12-year-old boy except the repeated outbursts.
Yes.
Heather, oh my God, Heather. It felt like they were trying to make this repetitive, memorable, quotable bit that this time just didn't really hit for me. So since they did it 5 or 6 times, I was really over it by the end. And when Josh O'Connor's character flips and does the same thing to his mom, I wish that they would have done it in a different voice or in a different beat, in a different character way. So it felt like they're doing the same thing, but it doesn't have to be the exact same thing.
Right.
I found that kind of annoying. And that's it. That's my Josh O'Connor takes.
Good blitz.
It was a good episode.
Yeah.
One of my favorites of the season, I think. But now we're going to talk about one of my favorite episodes of the second season. I mean, there's only been 3 of them, but this is up there with the 3. We're talking about an episode hosted by Eric Idle with musical guests Joe Cocker and stuff.
Yeah.
It originally aired on October 2nd, 1976. Other things also aired that night.
Yeah, they did. It was CBS's lineup was the Jeffersons, Doc, the Mary Tyler Moore Show, the Bob Newhart Show, and the Carol Burnett Show. ABC aired Holmes and Yo-Yo, which is not what I don't know what it is actually. Mr. T and Tina, and
Also not what
Starsky
you
and Hutch.
think.
Remember, ABC is on their buddy system right now. They got Holmes and Yo-Yo, Mr. T and Tina, Starsky and Hutch.
3 of the most iconic, famous duos of all time.
Everybody knows. Our home network, NBC, aired Emergency and
Nice.
the 1975 film Breakout. The #1 film at the box office was Alice in Wonderland, but not that Alice in Wonderland. This is an erotic musical comedy loosely based on Lewis Carroll's book Alice's Adventures in Wonderland that expands the original story to include sex, broad adult humor, and original songs. So we're basically on the heels of Deep Throat, where we just do full erotica now in public, and it's the
#1 film
#1
at the
film
box
at
office.
the box office.
I saw on the side the fun fact was this has been out for like 13 weeks. So it had been cult popular for a very long time. And then
Okay.
finally this week it was the #1
It
movie.
caught on. Okay.
And I first saw it on the list and I thought, oh, they must have re-released Alice in Wonderland. And then I clicked it and now I kind of want to watch it.
the #1 album on the Billboard chart.
No, I'm sorry. A porn with original musical numbers.
Yeah.
I really want to see it. That
Oh.
sounds like the most me thing I've ever heard.
I will write that down for your Christmas gift. The #1 album on the Billboard chart was still Frampton Comes Alive. So
less erotic, but not erotic.
right.
Okay, let's break into the episode. I'll take the cold open this week.
We got an episode that's the cold open this week, and you're going to take it.
The real Chevy Chase, an imposter played by Richard Belzer, attempts to replace a still hospitalized Chevy Chase.
Good evening, I'm Chevy Chase, and you're not. Our top story tonight, President Ford says...
Hello? Hello? Hello, who's this?
Hello?
Hello, who is this?
It's Chevy Chase. Who the hell are you?
Are we looking at each other to see who's going to Belzer deep dive first?
I love Richard Belzer.
I might ruin that for you, so I'll let you go first.
No, go ahead.
No, I'll let you go first.
Richard Belzer's character, Detective John Munch, has been portrayed in 11 different show universes.
That's crazy.
That's a record.
I wrote down, so that was, the main shows were Homicide, Life on the Street, where he played the character for 122 episodes. Then he would return for Law and Order Special Victims Unit, where he'd played the role for another 326 episodes. That is insane.
He's also played that role on Law and Order, The X-Files, The Beat, Law and Order Trial by Jury.
Arrested Development is on that list.
The Wire, 30 Rock, Jimmy Kimmel Live, and The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
And it's so silly.
And I
love that.
I almost choose to believe that this is Munch in this universe here so that we can call it Saturday Night Live as well.
Well, as far as Saturday Night Live goes, at this time he was 32 years old. He was an actor. He was a comedian. He was an author. At this time, he was the warm-up comedian for SNL. So he would come out and hype up the crowd before every episode for the first 5 seasons.
Yep.
He also made at least 3 guest appearances on the show, this being at least the second of them. Apparently, he's in the background of episode number 1.
I did not know that.
I didn't either. I definitely didn't catch him. But I don't think, in a quick shot, I would not recognize that this was Richard Belzer. But when he started talking, when you really started to see his face, I was able to clock that it was John Munch.
The literal second that he came on, I go, is that Richard Belzer? And Jenna goes, Munch? Because Jenna's a big SVU stan. Anyway, Belzer's appearance on Trial by Jury, which aired April 15th, 2005, made him the 3rd ever actor to play the same character in 6 different primetime TV series.
Wow.
The other 2 were John Ratzenberger and George Wendt, who played Cliff Calvin and Norm Peterson.
They showed up in that many shows?
In Cheers, St. Elsewhere, the Tortellis, Wings. You ever seen Wings?
I know of it.
Okay.
Great band. Denny Lane.
Nice. The Simpsons and Frasier.
Wow. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Richard Belzer was also a frequent guest of right-wing nightmare podcast, The Alex Jones Show.
Oh, no.
On this podcast, he made many outrageous claims, including that the Boston bombing was staged.
Damn it.
I know. I did not know that about him. I was like, oh, shit, Richard Belzer. And I was reading. It's like, oh, fuck.
I liked life before I knew about what anybody did.
Yeah, because they're all awful.
Yeah, we all are.
Richard Belzer passed away in 2023. He was 78 years old. Let's talk about this cold open. What an episode this has been already.
For real.
What did you think about our second week of Let's Shoehorn Chevy in his absence into a sketch?
This was, I feel like they have to have him in the cold open somehow. That's their thing.
I guess.
And yeah, right. That's how I feel about it too. This one was fun for me because Belzer gave the same attitude to Chevy that I feel like Chevy gives to everybody else all the time.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun to hear him say, coin this, pal.
Yeah.
And like, just shove it right back in his stupid, smug face. But then, eventually they throw the thing on the ground and it goes on too long, but it was funny in the first few seconds.
We're on the same page here. I think this is a super funny concept. I think they could have gone even farther with it than what they did, but maybe, however, they're piping Chevy's voice in had some limitations, so they can only do so much, and it kind of was staged awkwardly because they're waiting for his response. I thought Richard Belzer was the perfect mix of, well, if I stand 30 feet away from my TV and kind of squint, I could kind of see Chevy Chase.
Sure.
But he doesn't really look that much like Chevy Chase at all. He's just this full imposter who we learn at the end of the sketch is trying to push that he's Chevy Chase after getting plastic surgery so he can take all of his career and what was moving in Chevy's career in this time. I thought that was pretty funny detail.
Nice.
There were a lot of good lines. Chevy on the other side of the phone, I'm in no mood for levity. You understand? Was pretty funny.
Yeah, I've been here for a week. Not one single call, not
Nobody
one card.
cares, which isn't true. They have under gunpoint said, "Get well, Chevy. I hope you feel better,
They
buddy."
sang a full song about it.
So many times.
Hey, how many times do I have to tell you? I'm Chevy Chase.
I'm Chevy Chase, and you're not, and I coined that phrase.
Coin this, pal. I'm Chevy Chase, and you're bothering me now. Buzz off, bozo. I got a show to do, okay?
Buzz off, bozo is such a good phrase. I want to start using that. Buzz off, bozo.
I'll remember.
Whenever you say something bad, like when we talk about the antler dance later, because they brought it up again this episode.
Buzz off, bozo.
Nice.
Well, then we get our opening montage. Unless you have more thoughts on the cold open.
I like that they use these wooden plank sounds when the phone falls off the table. It's like this like bowling pin clank, clank, clank that is so clearly a diegetic sound that they're creating off stage, and I thought it was funny.
Nice.
Go ahead.
Now we have an opening montage, and it's the normal one, but we still are crediting just the voice of Chevy Chase. Also, as Zach pointed out just a few minutes ago, because Stuff is one of the musical acts tonight, there was just a slide where they just said,
Stuff.
And there was no context. You didn't really understand what was happening.
I liked that a lot. And with the type of irreverent humor they do on this show, it could have just been a bit. It's not, but
Yeah.
it worked as one.
Well, our host is Eric Idle. He's a 33-year-old actor, comedian, songwriter, and musician, screenwriter, and playwright. He was a member of the British comedy group Monty Python and the parody rock band The Ruddles. The previous year, Idle and the Pythons released their classic comedy Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That was the year before. That was in 75. Holy hell.
Yes, it was.
It's unbelievable. Today, Eric Idle is 82 years old. In his monologue, Jane Curtin interrupts Eric Idle's screaming version of Here Comes the Sun.
Here comes your son! Here comes your son! And I say, it's all right!
Eric? Eric?
Yeah?
How would you like to take a little walk and we'll talk?
Oh, okay, yeah, fine, yeah.
Eric,
You don't like the song?
The song's terrific, but you know,
good.
you're new to American television. I
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah.
the hands across the water. I mean,
Yeah.
you being from England and everything, but
There's a lot
you see,
more of a song.
we do things, Eric, we do things very
Oh.
differently over
All
here.
right.
For instance, we'd put a song like that because it has so much meaning at the end of the show.
Oh, so I'll do it at the end of the show.
Terrific.
Save it up to the end of the show. Good idea.
This is one of the shortest monologues I've ever seen, and I love it.
I love what Eric brings to the show this week.
Yeah.
From top to bottom. He's bringing weird energy. He's breaking down any semblance of a fourth wall. He sings it's all there in the description. He's yelling, "Here comes the sun."
Yeah.
And it's really funny.
It sounds like Pardo's impression of the Beatles from a couple
Yeah,
of weeks.
yeah.
It sounds like he's just here comes the sun. It's so great.
And it
It's
does
very
that
short.
thing. It would make sense if somebody today did a monologue like this, because whenever a host comes out and they've got a guitar,
Yeah.
or the piano's out,
Yeah.
and you know they're just gonna start singing, you're like,
no.
okay, here we go.
Here it goes.
And I knew that Eric Idle's episode would be better than that, but when it opens on him not coming down the stairs, just in a spotlight with a guitar like fucking Paul Simon, part of me was like, what are we getting in for here? And then he starts playing "Here Comes the Sun," and I thought maybe wrongly that it was just going to be a nice little cover. And Eric Idle was a musician.
Yeah.
He was friends with George Harrison.
Yeah.
He was a very silly but not unserious man in these years, Eric Idle, at times. So I didn't know what to expect. And then when he starts yelling, it's so funny. Every time he does the fucking dumbity doodly, I think it's so funny. It's more funny to me than the yelling, the way that he sings along with the guitar as he plays it. And immediately Jane puts the audience out of their misery. I love Jane in this and setting him down.
Oh, yeah. Garrett does it later in the episode, too, but Jane does it a couple of times. Jane just, like, stops him immediately. Hey, no, we got to save this one for the end. This song's too good. And then she just, like, she walks him from home base over to the set of the next sketch and is, like, explaining to him as he is changing into his
We
costume.
don't really do this in America.
Yeah, like it. And it's one of the coolest transitions I've ever seen on the show into a sketch.
Maybe the coolest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've watched a lot of episodes of Saturday Night Live, and I've never seen them do anything like this ever. This was fun.
It was really fun and kind of confusing because I'm not used to things working this way.
Right.
So I thought maybe we were still in the monologue and this was part of his monologue, or that we were going to break the fourth wall again. But no, he sits down, he goes into character, and they perform a sketch that's great.
And here we are, live sketch. Genetic counselor. A genetics counselor, Eric Idle, offers an expecting couple, Dan Aykroyd and Gilda Radner, their choice of wild personality traits in their child. Now, I just did that very quickly because That's how fast it happened.
Yeah.
Like it just boom. Now we're in this
okay.
sketch. And Eric Idle's ability to transition from that into this, like, we're like breaking the fourth wall and talking to Jane to sitting down and being in character immediately. Sorry, I'm a bit early. And, but then, like, it just, it was amazing. Like, that's probably why it was confusing.
I think 25, 26 years from now, when we've recapped 50 years of SNL, I think this will be still iconic, top of the list. Nobody did what Eric Idle did. What a fun idea that I'm sure he brought to the show, or at least his presence inspired in the writers to do this type of thing. It is a perfect marriage of Monty Python's, well, yeah, get on with it. We're gonna poke the holes in this. The meta-ness, the early meta that Monty Python could be mixed with what SNL has been doing. It's just a perfect marriage. And then the sketch is great. What do you think of the sketch?
Let's get into the sketch. I don't know. The choices that they're making about their kid are a bit stilted, but it's still kind of fun. That it's an interesting concept.
You're poking at
the fact that they want a fair skin, blue-eyed, blonde.
Blue.
Yeah,
stocky and short though. They don't want him thin and tall.
They didn't want the tall, thin one.
The wordplay here is great.
The wordplay is the best part.
Eric Idle's delivery is so good. And some of these, I just wrote down a bunch of quotes. I'm not going to say them all. I'll probably play some of them. But so many are great. Like, do you want them to be furry or quilted in general texture?
Quilted is
nice. It was really funny. Do you want a tongue or a dipstick? The dipstick is very, very, very long, and it'll make it easier to suck up flies.
Yeah, but I guess we'll go with the tongue.
Feet or pods?
No.
Pods?
Feet.
I think they go pods.
I'm going to go pods.
Then there's the pressed in, what kind of puppy? The head. A flat, pressed in head like a something puppy, he
pug,
says.
Maybe?
I don't know. Or a shrimp head. The shrimp head would be so much easier since he's a welder to put the goggles on.
That would be, yeah. But I don't want a baby with a shrimp head.
My favorite line in this whole thing, other than some little Python isms from Eric, something like, well, I'm just trying to do my science and push good things, good choices onto your child. And you're just going on this wiffle waffle about the whole thing, which I thought was really funny. But that final line that he delivers so well.
Right now, Mr. and Mrs. Story, you have a perfect, beautiful, whopping specimen of a stocky, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned, quilted male shrimp-head welder with pods. Now, what more can you possibly want?
Purposefully, beginning of the sketch, he's turning his head and body to check the cue card so many times to add to that awkwardness of falling into the scene. But by the point that he's delivering the stocky, blonde hair, blue-eyed, fair-skinned, quilted male shrimp head welder with pods line, he is fully in the scene and fully in character and so quick. And I think the intro and all of the sketch just sing so strongly. You're not as high on it?
I mean, it was fun. We're just not. I don't think I was as high on it as you were. I liked the transition into it, and then once we got into it, I was like, okay, yeah, it's fun. It's fine. It's whatever. Like, I wasn't as juiced up about it, but it's okay. It was still a good sketch.
Hatchback or Porter windows?
Hatchback for sure.
Then there's a bumper coming up next. Pearls before swine flu. Did this mean anything to you? Did you Google? So
pearls before swine is a phrase. It's an idiom. It refers to giving something precious like wisdom, valuables, or spiritual truth to those who won't appreciate it or understand it.
Do you know the origin of the phrase?
Oh, yeah, I read about it. But
it's scripture.
Yes.
Jesus says it in the Sermon on the Mount. So
yeah.
It's become an idiom, but it starts with like, don't give out salvation to just anybody. Give it out to someone who seems like they deserve it.
Right.
Don't give it out to the swine.
Or will understand or appreciate it. I often catch disc golfers giving discs away to people that would have no ability to appreciate what they're getting. But also, Pearls Before Swine is an American comic strip written and illustrated by Stephen Pastis. The series began on December 31st, 2001. And it's notable for its black comedy, simplistic artwork, self-deprecating fourth wall, meta humor, social commentary, mockery of itself or other comic strips, and occasional elaborate stories leading to a pun.
I saw a photo of it. I didn't know this comic. Did you know this comic?
Yeah, I read a lot of comics, so I knew about Pearls Before Swine.
We'll talk a little bit more about comics later.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We will. Also, at this time, it is important to note, because it comes up in a couple other sketches, there was a swine flu outbreak in America in 1976.
Sure. They reference on this a few times. There are a few jokes about it.
It was a big thing that had just happened. And because this particular outbreak was a closely related strain to the 1918 outbreak, which was an H1N1. This one was an H3N2.
Is that worse?
I think.
Something I like about these old school SNL episodes, I love that they have a certain sense of continuity. And there are themes in most episodes, whether it's like the swine flu outbreak or like the Legionnaire's disease was another one, where they make references to something currently going on in sketch, in Weekend Update throughout the episode. I think that's kind of fun.
Agreed.
Well, after that, we have our next live sketch. It's KLOG Clog Radio. Disc jockey Kenneth Wardell, played by Dan Aykroyd, simultaneously hosts morning shows on AM, FM sister stations.
Hey, good morning. It's Kip Casey. Wake up time. Driving to work, to school, having breakfast, or just doing some crazy morning things around the house. Casey's on the case. I'm Kip Casey. I'll be here till noon with a few words, a little music, and of course, the Pasternak Air Hammer Giveaway Day contest a little later on. Here's a tune to get you moving and grooving on this sunny Friday morning. An old one from Tony Orlando and Don Candida. Some gold.
Okay. Yeah, that was the Moody Blues for our morning. Morning, as always, the first awakening. I'm Kenneth Wardell on KLOG FM. Mellowing out your morning with some really good sound. We have music. I'm a little high right now. And I'm looking forward to an interview with Peter Criss, the drummer from Kiss. He's going to tell us how he chose the cat makeup. Here's something new from Aerosmith.
This is a pretty iconic early SNL sketch. How did you feel about it?
Fucking great.
Dude.
This is Aykroyd in a league of his own when it comes to these solo sketches.
Yeah.
It's just like he doesn't need anyone to play off of.
No.
It is amazing. He can just, and the speed at which he can deliver lines is unbelievable.
I'm always taken aback by the deliberate fuck ups to add to the scene.
Yes.
That he's got such a handle on this sketch that they've written over the past week that he can make such specific comedic choices like it's a movie scene that he's practiced 100,000 times.
Yeah. Also, just the concept of a radio personality toggling between AFM and FM stations is super funny. Because I think that, to me, he gets the vibes backwards. I think
you think AM is more stoner?
I think FM is more jacked up, like super hype, talking super fast radio guy. And then like AM would be like, you're more like, good morning.
You are right. You are right. The AM character speaks like an auctioneer.
Yeah.
He's so fast and everything's so fast. And Winky Wally, I don't know the actual name. The Wonder Bread.
It's Crazy Kip Casey and on AM. And then it's Kenneth Wardell
on FM.
On FM. Yeah.
And he's more like, hey, man, I was at the Dead concert last night. I don't think AM should be stoner, but you're right. It was... Maybe the radio vibes were different in the mid-'70s.
Who knows? I also just I kind of feel like there's no way the cue cards could have been covering some of the stuff that he was saying. There's no way they could have moved with that.
Been moving that fast.
Yeah.
There were some really good lines in this all throughout it, and Dan's delivery makes it sing like Peter Criss, the drummer from Kiss, coming up in an interview. I thought was very funny.
Yeah, I was going to do the live from intro to be from one of the Stairway to Headphones because it had the same address as the other place that
did it really?
Yeah, they were both 80-90 something.
I liked that at the beginning of the sketch, it's playing an instrumental to Here Comes the Sun, and it continues that runner of the show. The intro music for the AM radio is Here Comes the Sun, and I thought that was fun.
That was a good...
Going back and forth from songs. There are a lot of in-jokes in this sketch. Like coming up next, Tony Orlando and Don hits harder because of the many times that Michael O'Donoghue has shoved needles into their eyes previously.
Correct.
There's a reference to the antler dance coming up next. We actually give the artist of the antler dance a name, which is Bernie Phillips. And then after that, he introduces Bernie Phillips, who gives the news when he puts the two microphones together.
Yes.
So Bernie Phillips is the artist of the antler dance and is also the newsman on both of these radio stations and is also Dan Aykroyd's character. He's a man of many talents.
Crazy. Kip Casey.
The turn between the AM advertising a cheap white off the factory line loaf of bread, and then you go to the FM station and it's like whole grain, all good sources, granary bread, and it's the same man doing both ads that are so diametrically opposed. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that's why because on one he's doing the ad for the speakers, and then on the other he's doing the ad for the headphones, and they have the same address.
Are you mad at your speakers?
And he says ask for Gary on both of them. So Gary's got a lot to take care of.
This was a really good one.
This was a fun sketch.
I really liked it. Also, this sketch has another pretty good transition. It fades out while he's talking, fades into the beginning of the Killer Bees sketch, which is next.
Correct.
As the radio keeps playing. And this radio station is playing in the world of this next sketch, and then goes into Eric Idle screaming, "Here comes the sun," which is turned off, and then we start the next one. I thought that was also a really clever, almost just as clever transition into the next sketch.
They're killing it here.
Yeah. Tell me about the next sketch.
It is Killer Bees. Eric Idle ruins a Killer Bees swine flu inoculation sketch by using his natural British dialect. This is a great Killer Bees sketch. I get it, the accents are questionable, but still.
Honestly, I think it was even more egregious the first time.
Yeah.
I also think the concept and how the sketch breaks down was better in that first Elliot Gould episode, and how that sketch really like tentacled off into several different storylines and the Gilda and Elliot. This one falls apart. It kind of does the same thing. I just don't think it holds up quite as well as the first time. I do love Eric Idle in it.
Yeah, him doing La Cucaracha is something.
The 1970s syringe devices they were using looked horrifying. Did you see those? The big metal honking syringe guns?
Yeah.
And also they seemed very unsanitary. They just went one person to the next.
Okay. That's a wonderful observation, Zach. Thank you.
Fuck off. What was it? Buzz off, bozo.
Buzz off, bozo. I love how they always interrupt themselves with a meta joke during a Killer Bees sketch. It's like a thing. Also, Richard Belzer was in this one.
Really? Was he one of the bees?
He was a bee.
I enjoyed Gilda and Jane in this sketch.
Yes.
And how no matter how many times the bees threatened them with weapons and point guns to them, once they've heard Eric Idle use his British accent, none of it holds true to them
none
anymore.
of it matters. They're
What?
just
What's
now.
going
Hang
on
on,
here?
and also their
He just
names
said
are
bloke.
Jane and Gilda in the
Yeah.
sketch, which is great.
Chap, let's just get what we came for and buzz off, shall we?
All right, give me the next scene.
Wait a minute. Did he just say chap?
No, he didn't say nothing.
Yes, he did. He said chap.
He said chapo. In Spanish for fat bee.
No, wait a minute. I heard him too, Jane. I heard him say chap.
Wait a minute. You're not a South American killer bee. You're English.
He's not English. Now hand over that vaccine.
No, I agree with Gilda. I just heard him say bloke.
As John's pointing a gun at them, like a machine gun at them. Like, yeah, he's definitely British. So then they try to argue that he just went to Oxford. He's South American. He tries to prove he's South American by playing La Cucaracha on the guitar, which I guess convinces them for a second.
Yeah, I don't know. In the end, though, he gets to bang Lorraine, which is fun.
That is a good...
Yeah.
What about the run on them being friends with the swine flu? And the swine flu brought them into its home when they were poor and taught them how to read. That was so weird.
Yeah.
So strange.
Swine flu is mean. It doesn't do that.
I like the way, that this all broke down till first the bees all leave, then Gilda and Jane leave, and Eric is left, and Lorraine comes out and says, "Hey, I think you did a great job.
Yeah.
Do you want to fuck?"
Do you want to go back to my dressing room?
Good stuff.
Well, yeah. And yeah, swine flu is not. I had it in the 2009 outbreak. It was awful.
Oh, no. I remember when the hot Halloween costume that year was a pig mask and a surgical mask.
Woof. Well, after this, we get a bumper. It's a woman in the audience who is, quote, great out of bed.
There's a cool pan up to the audience from the sketch, and the woman looks excited that she got picked.
Yeah. Who confirmed this, though? That's what I want to know.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next, Joe Cocker performs You Are So Beautiful. Our musical guest this week is Joe Cocker. He was a 32-year-old singer known for his gritty, bluesy voice and dynamic stage performances that featured expressive body movements. He performs the song You Are So Beautiful, originally written by Billy Preston and Bruce Fisher. I've obviously known this song my whole life, but never knew it was Billy Preston's song.
Me either.
It was for Preston's album, The Kids in Me.
Okay.
Cocker recorded his cover of the song for his 1974 album, I Can Stand a Little Rain. And of course, Joe Cocker went on to pass away in 2014 at the age of 70.
His distinctive, twitchy, and expressive movements stem from his deep emotional connection to the music, acting as unfiltered physical manifestation of the soul and energy pouring out, often described as being possessed by the song, rather than being random spasms or a specific illness, though early on he tried to control it but found it unnatural. eventually becoming his signature style, sometimes aided by a handkerchief to manage sweat and intensity.
You are so beautiful. To me, can't you see you're everything I hope for? You're everything I need.
Zach, be honest. Listener, be honest. Everybody in the world, let's be honest here. We watched this performance. All of us Googled about halfway through, what's going on with Joe Cocker?
Why does Joe Cocker move this way?
What's wrong with him? Because from the beginning, seeing John's impression of Joe Cocker, Lil has brought this up, and I have kind of undercut it, but not totally disagreed. That's like, what if he's either impersonating somebody that has a disability or acting like somebody with a disability in order to impersonate a musician? Once you see Joe Cocker perform and you learn that, no, he doesn't have a disability. That's just how he performs.
Right.
John's impression is so much better than it ever was.
Yeah.
It is so uncanny. The hair, the voice, every movement he does,
the face,
way that he kind of pulls back, like he's kind of like it's coming out of him and he's not really in charge of it.
The faces that he makes, for sure. Yeah, you're not wrong. And we're not there yet, but like Joe doing this song he's by himself out there, you know, like he's got the backup band. Stuff is back there backing him.
Yeah, Stuff.
And this song is very sweet and it's very like kind of down tempo, but like it's a very his performance is crazy, but like yeah, he doesn't have any. He walks up like just a normal ass dude, and then becomes this crazy ass. You are like, is this guy? He becomes what I have seen and know as Florida Man, because I have been there and I have seen them.
Wow.
A homeless Florida guy who is drunk on wine at 11 in the morning and is addicted to heroin and can't find any. Like, that's the type of guy that's what he looks like when he performs, but he sounds incredible.
It reminds me of my favorite band, Ween. They do weird movements like this, and it's more for comedic effect. Also, when I was taking my notes and watching the episode last night, right before we got to this performance was when I heard the news about Rob Reiner.
Bummer.
And I ended up turning off the episode for the night and coming back to it this morning, but it's completely unrelated.
Right.
It stirred me. The performance stirred me. I was feeling emotional about the news I had just heard, and the music and the performance elevated that a lot. Joe Cocker, I went from the first time I watched the episode kind of laughing at the silliness because of John Belushi's impression and seeing it in real time be the real guy. The second time, I felt it. I felt it, and I get it.
I sing this song to my dog all the time, so I know what you mean.
Also, before we move on from Joe Cocker, the opening is Eric Idle continuing his Here Comes the Sun yelling cover. It's all right, he says this time at the end of it. And again, immediately, Jane comes out to tell him, no. We talked about this.
Yeah,
End of the show.
The end of the show.
End of the show. Not bad, Joe Cocker. Did you like it?
No, this song was pretty good.
Okay.
It's solid.
Next.
We get a live sketch. It's Baba Wawa's Farewell. Before leaving NBC, Baba Wawa, played by Gilda Wadna, explains that the reasoning for her departure is that, I'll tell you, actually, she gets a $5 million contract.
Oh.
Well, beginning in 1971, Walters hosted her own local NBC affiliate show, not for women only.
And in this one, because it works better in her impression, not for ladies only.
Right, which ran in the mornings after the Today Show. Walters signed a 5-year, $5 million contract with ABC, establishing her as the highest paid news anchor, either male or female.
Wow.
She and Harry Wiesner co-anchored the ABC Evening News from 76 to 78, making her the first American female network news anchor. Wiesner had a difficult relationship with Walters because he disliked having a co-anchor, even though he worked with former CBS colleague Howard K. Smith nightly on ABC for several years. Walters said that the tension between the two was because Wiesner did not want to work with a co-anchor and also because he was unhappy at ABC, not because he disliked Walters personally.
Okay.
But in any case, this was right around the time that she was getting ready to go from NBC to ABC.
This is my last moment on NBC. I want to remind you to look for me along with Harry Wiesner weeknights at 7 o'clock. I want to take this opportunity to apologize to NBC. I don't like weaving. Please trust me, it's not sour grapes, but rather that another network recognizes in me a great talent for delivering relevant news stories with crystal clarity to millions of Americans.
I'm glad that they haven't fully overused this impression. They did it 2 weeks in a row and then they put it away for a while.
Right.
So it wasn't an unpleasant surprise to see her come back.
And it was very quick.
Very quick. It almost feels more like one of those moments with Eric on stage doing something very fast before we move on to the next piece.
And we usually get Gilda doing these things, so I was glad we got that as well.
Yeah, it's not bad. There's some great deliveries like I don't like weaving and delivering relevant news stories. I had to write those down. Just Gilda's kind of like Dan has this impression down so fast that she can speak so quickly.
Yeah.
And when I try to repeat it, I have to slow down and really think about it.
I have to type it out phonetically.
Yeah, Gilda did a really good job in these. Short and sweet, says her catchphrases, gets out of here, solid.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's into Weekend Update. Our second week where substituting for the still injured Chevy Chase is Jane Curtin.
Good phone intro this week, too.
Good one. Yep. I don't know where he keeps the batteries. I got to go.
Yeah, the batteries for her personal toy.
Right. Thank you. Thanks for writing that out.
Yep.
Jane is going to report on the top stories like President Ford being cleared of the charge that he misused campaign funds.
Ephraim Zimbalist Jr.
Thank you.
Was an American actor best known for his starring roles in the television series 77 Sunset Strip and the FBI.
Okay.
Which is why I think they used him in this joke.
Interesting.
Because
even after Googling him, I was unsure.
Because the lead up is something about
a pardon.
The from the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
And the FBI was the name of the show that he was famous for.
And he's so stupid that he pardoned
Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. Yeah.
Okay. We get comments on black people made by Secretary of Agriculture Earl Butts.
This joke was vile. I did not appreciate this joke. I didn't think it was very funny.
Okay.
But they called back to it in a minute, and I loved that. But like this...
It's uncomfy.
The first part of the joke was kind of whatever.
Guy made racist comments. Ford called him out.
Yeah, and then they just went on like another layer of racism.
Well, the first joke isn't even a joke. It's just literally what the man apparently said. Or is that a joke, do you think, what black people want?
No, yeah. So like that's the callback later.
And they say it here too.
They say, well, yeah, because they have to have something to call back to.
Good shoes?
Good, comfortable shoes.
Comfortable shoes and a warm place to go to the bathroom. And
right.
Let's be honest. What man or woman doesn't need or want those three things?
They're great.
I don't think that's even a mean thing to say about somebody.
No.
Now,
the thing that he responded with, sent him a gift that was like
a bale of cotton.
Yeah.
And hair straightening stuff.
Oh, terrible.
It's one of those jokes where SNL is like, we're on the right side of this opinion, so we can make fun of the racist by making that racist joke that we've always wanted to make.
No.
And it doesn't sit right, even if I think their intent was okay, but they're still just doing the same thing that the person that they made fun of did.
Yeah.
Well, what's after that? We have an artist rendering of Muhammad Ali's controversial fight with the young Ken Norton and Ali's retirement from the ring. So we marry two running jokes, the artist rendering and the Ali jokes. Yep. Also, Jane is getting to do a bit that feels like a Chevy thing, even more so than what they did last week. They're just like, well, let's do the same stuff, but let Jane do it. And she crushes that.
Agreed. And this is where they call back to the earlier joke that we just talked about.
After the whole bit about Ali and the fight, artist rendering, he's going to retire because what he really wants
is good sex, comfortable shoes, and a warm place to go to the bathroom. Which is, I think the callback is always a good move in comedy. It's just the second half of that joke earlier was terrible.
I agree. It's uncomfy. In those artist renderings, I always love the abstract, big chin, sideways face that they do.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. It's a fun comic style.
I really wish I knew who did these. I'm sure it's one of the writers because they're so shoddy. And I have a guess just on vibes. I've said it before. I think it's Zweibel. And I have no reason to back that.
And you base that on absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Cool.
If I'm right, that'd be cool. I don't think I'll ever find out. If we ever talk to Zweibel, that's what I'm going to ask.
Okay.
Did you do these drawings? No.
No. And Ken Norton had a kid named Ken Norton Jr.
Okay.
who played in the NFL.
Oh.
And then coached in the NFL. And then there is a guy named Ken Morton.
Okay.
With an M, not an
Yes.
N. He was the very first PGA masterclass. They basically invented the masterclass of PGA membership for him as far as professional golfers, Professional Golf Association.
Ken Morton.
Ken Morton. And he basically wrote the template for what became the First Tee, which is like a charitable youth organization out of the wing of the PGA.
Oh.
Ken Morton hired me. He was the CEO of the company. And Ken Morton Jr.
No relation to Ken Norton or Ken Norton Jr.
No, but is relation to Ken Morton because it's his son. And he wrote the book on golf retail.
Interesting.
Called The Big Little Book of Golf Retail.
I love the way your brain works.
Thanks.
Also, we're going to get some talk about scandals involving content on television. The Society of Good Taste, which sounds awful, has some problems with content on television. That content including Carol O'Connor's affair, which would be All in the Family, Cloris Leachman's pregnancy. I don't know what show Cloris Leachman was on at the time.
Maud, maybe? I don't know.
And Telly Savalas' baldness.
Aristoteles Telly Savalas was a Greek-American actor noted for his bald head and deep, resonant voice.
He changed his name from Aristotle to go by his middle name, Telly?
Aristoteles is the full name.
Okay. I would have stuck with Aristotle.
Aristotle's
one word.
Yeah, one word. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's not his middle name. He is perhaps best known for portraying Lieutenant Theo Kojak on the crime drama series Kojak.
Oh.
And the James Bond arch-villain Ernst Stavro Blofeld.
Was he bald?
Did you not hear the sentence I said noted for his bald head and deep, resonant voice?
Apparently not.
It's in the film On Her Majesty's Secret Service in 1969.
I have never seen a single James Bond movie. Are you a James Bond guy?
Yeah, I like James Bond. I don't think I ever watched the old ones, like the Roger Moore and the Sean Connery and the
So have you
Timothy
not
Dalton.
seen, what is it? I
haven't seen this.
What's the first word of the title?
First one I ever saw was Goldeneye.
As Her Majesty, on Her
Majesty's Secret Services.
Majesty's Secret Services. Okay, then the last joke here is the West Point cheating scandal. We've heard about it many times. They're going to have a code or a vote on their honor code to see if they should change some things, and it's got a strong turnout. Out of all 400 cadets, 900 votes were cast.
It's a voter fraud joke. So Republicans love it.
What's
Hilarious. After that, we get a weekend update correspondent. It's Garrett Morris. He's reporting from Florence, Italy on the vandalizing of Michelangelo's David and interviews a rabbi, played by Alan Zweibel, on his opinion about the circumcision of the statue.
This is Rabbi Maya. Tell me, Rabbi, it's covered right now, but did you see the statue before the bandage was applied?
Yes, I did.
And as a clergyman, what do you think of the culprit's act?
In my opinion, he did a beautiful job.
This is Garrett Morris reporting. Now back to you, Jane.
Man, this joke isn't as funny as it would be if we had seen the cock.
Garrett's blocking is flawless.
To cover it.
Yeah, he covers it up the whole time that you don't really know what he's talking about for a minute, and then he decides to he just like turns it and reveals that there's no wiener on
and the way
statue
that
anymore.
it's wrapped up.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Zweibel getting in on this as the rabbi is kind of funny.
It is kind of funny. This is quick, and none of the jokes hit super hard. Are they implying that the rabbi maybe did the vandalizing?
I don't know. I think
He certainly appreciated it.
his opinion on whether or not the circumcision was done well, I think, was more important.
It's a funny joke. Would have been funnier if we could see the cock. Show us the cock, guys. They've shown us the titty. Show us the cock. Show cock. SNL, show cock.
You heard it here first.
Back to Weekend Update. With still to come, Syrian pinatas. Help me out with this one.
I have nothing.
Okay. Then we get a live sketch. Epifix, a druggist played by Dan Aykroyd, uses an injection to relieve his headache.
Epifix headache remedy comes with injector and 5 headache cartridges. Each Epifix headache cartridge contains 200 micrograms of acetylsalicylic acid and 200 micrograms of methylphenidate hydrochloride powder for fast relief. And it's easy to use. You can feel the relief.
This was incredible.
Another amazing live commercial parody. And more solo Danny just fucking destroying it.
This one's so weird. His behavior in this one is so strange.
It's very weird.
From the beginning, hi, I've got a headache, and why shouldn't I have?
Yeah, I've earned my headaches. I work enough to earn my headaches. I love this, and I love anything that could give me fast relief.
Yes.
It's easy to use.
Fast.
And you can feel the relief.
Man, watching him the way he's so fluidly, it makes it look like he's going to tie up his arm, but he's actually wrapping it around his neck.
He does oh my God.
To stick the needle like underneath his lip.
The rubber tube goes around his neck and he just shoves this needle into the upper side of his upper lip and screams.
You can feel the relief.
You can feel the relief.
It's just classic.
Fast relief. So good. It's such a classic, and it's live. Like, it's not like a pre-taped commercial parody. This is a live commercial parody, and it's just funny. It's so good.
The number of bits that Dan has to pull off in this episode that aren't just witty dialogue read from a cue card, he is crushing it.
Yeah, it's silly. But I love that each one of them comes with 5 headache cartridges. That's pretty great.
Does that mean it'll cover 5 headaches? That makes sense.
That's 5 headaches. That's great.
Would you? No, you wouldn't.
Nope. But then we're going to go back to Weekend Update with Jane Curtin. Jane reports on the pregnancy of comic strip character Mary Worth and speculates on the father.
Do you know this comic?
Mary Worth is an American newspaper comic strip that has had an 8-decade run from 1938. Distributed by King Features Syndicate, this soap opera-style strip influenced several that followed.
We read the same Wikipedia page.
Yes, we did. It was created by writer Alan Saunders and artist Dale O'Connor and initially appeared under the pseudonym Dale Allen. Ken Ernst succeeded O'Connor as the artist in 1942.
Something I thought was interesting about Mary Worth, every story run has a different cast of characters. Mary Worth always appears but is rarely the lead character.
And it was Mary Worth apparently stemmed from a previous comic in the 30s called Apple Mary. It was like a one continuous narrative.
So we talk about the different people who might be the father of Mary Worth's baby. They mention a character named Bob. I couldn't find anything about Bob, but they tested his ink, so they know it's not him.
Okay.
Mutt and Jeff. At first I thought she said Mutt and Jeff. It was Mutt and Jeff were pals in an old comic strip called Mutt and Jeff. Dagwood is, of course, Dagwood.
Yep.
And Jack Anderson, who was just a newspaper columnist.
Among the exposés that Anderson reported were the Nixon administration's investigation and harassment of John Lennon during his fight to deport Lennon, the continuing activities of fugitive Nazi officials in South America, and the savings and loan crisis. He revealed the history of the CIA plot to assassinate Fidel Castro and was credited for breaking the story of the Iran-Contra affair under President Reagan.
And maybe knocked up Mary Worth.
Perhaps. Well, then Jane provides a quick correction on last week's story.
It's good.
Fucking wonderful.
It's a good bit. I love Jane's little, excuse me.
This is another Chevy thing. Well, she says there's a correction to last week's story, and then she puts the paper down real quick and erases something on it and then just moves on to the next thing.
I haven't talked a lot about Jane's performance this week. There's something about the way that, because Chevy would do this like looking and winking at the camera.
Yeah.
Jane just does it.
Yeah.
And it's maybe not as laugh out loud in the studio funny, but as far as comedic choices, it is stronger.
She just nails it. I think she performs the joke instead of trying to like be Chevy.
I know this is a joke.
Yeah. There's more musings on violence on TV, which apparently means there isn't enough violence on TV.
Yep.
In a report released yesterday, a congressional committee investigating the effects of violence on television came to the surprising conclusion that there was not enough violence on television. Among their suggestions to remedy the situation, the committee recommends punching Dinah Shore in the face, placing Lorenzo and Henrietta Music in a trash masher, and beating the Waltons to death with a softball bat.
Someone has to.
Not bad, O'Donohue.
And then the 14th anniversary of The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson.
Yeah. Let's talk about Carson a little bit. Did you grow up in the Johnny Carson era at all? Did you watch much Tonight with Johnny?
No.
Neither did I. Obviously, I know how iconic he is.
Yes.
He's shown up in a lot of things. He's been referenced in a lot of things. Through osmosis, I know a decent amount about The Tonight Show.
Sure.
this clip that they show in which John Belushi plays
Ed Ames.
Comedian Ed Ames doing a bit with an axe is based on a real thing that happened on the Johnny Carson show. Did you watch this clip too?
A moment which I watched, yes, which I'd seen many times before, but I watched it again today, yes.
I had never seen it.
It's an iconic television moment and something that basically people point to specifically when they talk about Johnny Carson being a comedic genius.
He's not the one throwing the axe.
He isn't. But Ed goes to retrieve the axe out of the wall, and Johnny grabs him by the arm and pulls him back because Johnny understands
this is hilarious
that the audience is right in the palm of his hand right now, and and you guys need to milk this for a second, and then he just lets it all die down, and then he says the iconic line, "I didn't even realize you were Jewish." Which was just
that part. I didn't stick to the end.
I mean, that's why people point to Johnny and say that in that moment he just understood how to react to that.
So in this one, Ed Ames is introduced as the last Jewish comedian, and then just wails on the guy's crotch over and over again until he knocks over the thing, and then John turns the camera and does this weird shrug.
Yeah.
With the extra context you just gave me.
Yeah.
At first, I thought this was just kind of, random. Now I kind of don't like it.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's just, in that iconic moment, Ed Ames was not even, that wasn't the joke. It wasn't what was supposed to happen. He was supposed to be just axe throwing. And
he accidentally hit
him right just below where his dick would be. And so, the crowd erupted in laughter, and Johnny milked it, and then Johnny threw in the joke about circumcision joke, obviously.
That's funnier than this.
It is. Why? That's why this one, I was kind of it was silly.
Maybe dated, but funny.
It was poking fun at an iconic TV moment, but it didn't knock my socks off or anything. And then on the way out, when they say, okay, good night and have a pleasant tomorrow, then they kind of, they're panning out from Jane. It almost looks like she understands that they just mocked a legend in one of his most iconic moments.
The way after the bit, she's like, ha, 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 ha.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Whether that's what's happening in her brain or not, I thought her all right then, her fake stilted laugh, I thought it was very funny, and it was a better version of when Chevy tries to undercut a joke that flops.
I'm talking about her face as they pan out. As Weekend Update's totally over, and she's said her sign off, and they're panning the camera outward, Jane's face almost looks like she just saw a ghost. She's just
we're going to get in trouble for this
thinking
one.
in holy fuck, Johnny is not going to like that.
Well, and Johnny is someone who definitely had an ego about him and did not always love certain portrayals of himself.
Specifically didn't love what Lauren was doing about it.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that moment again.
Yeah.
Well, I like the way that she does that weird laugh to close out the video, and she says, all right, Johnny, another 14 years. I thought this was an even better second week with Jane at Update. She is just crushing it behind the desk.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts on Weekend Update?
I have none.
Well, up next, we have kind of a live sketch pre-tape hybrid about the Ruddles. Lauren Michaels reports that a lying Eric Idle tricked him out of the money intended for the Beatles. He offers a substitute video, a documentary of British pop group The Ruddles. You know about The Ruddles, bro?
The Ruddles were a spoof rock band that performed visual and oral pastiche and the parodies of the Beatles. The original fictional band created by Eric Idle and Neil Innes was for sketch in Idle's mind in mid-1970s BBC television comedy series Rutland Weekend Television.
Mm-hmm.
Later toured and recorded, releasing 2 albums and garnering 2 UK chart hits. The band toured again from 2002 until Innes' death in 2019.
They have a movie that I really kind of want to watch now called All You Need Is Cash.
Yep.
Which I would really, I kind of wanted to get up early enough to watch it this morning.
Eric Idle wrote that.
I want to see it. It looks really funny.
Eric Idle also, he co-directed the film with Gary Weiss.
The movie All You Need Is Cash?
Correct.
Interesting. Maybe, I don't know if that makes me want to watch it more or less.
That's a full circle thing.
Well, before we go deeper into the Ruddles, let's talk about the Lauren of it all for a second. We kind of get the follow-up to the Beatles offer where Eric, who is friends with George Harrison and probably has a connection to the Beatles, promised he'd bring the Beatles, talked Lauren into giving him money, which was, of course, a scam. No Beatles come. They send telegrams, faking reasons that they're not there. The runner about them needing new clothes not having enough money for the clothes, and we're not going to be there because Ringo's pants were too long, is very funny.
Yeah.
And then Lauren kind of gives up and is like, he said he'd send us a video instead. And what we got is this.
And he's already spent the $3,000.
So we might as well show it.
Yep.
Always good to see Lorne pop up. They use him more frequently in the old days than they do now, but never too much.
Right.
And I always like seeing him. He's starting to look more TV ready, too, than he did the first couple times.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Lorne?
I have them, but I would use the voice, so I'm not going to say them.
Okay. Thoughts on the film of the Ruddles?
It's great. Eric as the reporter and as Dirk is hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one he is? Is he Dirk?
Yeah, he's Dirk.
I couldn't really tell which one was him.
He wasn't nasty, though.
Yeah.
I love his segment at the end as the reporter walking behind the camera that gradually starts moving faster, and then he continues to try to report as he also tries to keep up.
And the dialogue itself is pretty funny, too, in that moment. But it is so funny watching him. Oh, my God, how fast is he actually going to run? Oh, my! Now he's really trucking, and he's still talking.
It's classic Python stuff.
Yeah, what do you think of the song? I thought the song was so Rubber Soul era Beatles coded.
Yeah, it was just Beatles enough to feel like a Beatles song, but it wasn't like a direct parody of any Beatles song. Like it was just so.
It has all the oohs when they shake their head.
Really well done.
Whoever is it, Eric, who is the Paul McCartney looking one?
I think so.
Because whoever it is pulling this like pursed lips Paul McCartney face that is just perfect. I also love that there's like kind of a chubby guy who looks like he's in his 40s.
He just reminds me of Andy
50s.
Richter. Like he just looks. He just like it's so funny.
The guy with the weird ass hairpiece as well. There's the guy who has a weird hairline, and them looking that way and playing a song that sounds and looks a lot like a Beatles performance, but looking that way, and then cutting to footage of actual Beatlemania and women just fucking losing their shit is pretty funny. Then we also get the B-roll of them shooting music video moments that are a lot like Beatles moments, but just a little off.
It's a great bit.
If Gary Weiss co-directed the Ruddles, I hope he learned a few things about timing video to song.
Yeah.
Because they do it very well here.
Yeah. Gary Weiss has a thing to learn, a thing or two to learn about a thing or two.
One of the last things I would like to say about this is the part when they're singing the song and it's the ooh moment and the camera goes with it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Kind of.
It just zooms in and out really fast when they go, ooh, and it is just so funny. It's just camera work and acting and music all working together very well. I would have watched another couple minutes of this.
Thanks, Ruddles. Ooh-wee.
Are you a big Beatles guy?
Yeah, I like the Beatles a lot. I grew up listening to the Beatles, and I mean, they were obviously like already old and gone by the time I got there. But I listened to them, and I read a lot of books about them. There's a book called Beatles Songs.
Okay.
And it basically like cataloged and explained as much as it could every song, like the origin behind it, who wrote what, where, when, why, how it came from, where it.
That's very cool.
It's where you found out that like Yesterday was something that Paul McCartney wrote in a dream, and he was so convinced that it wasn't his that he was going around playing it to people. And
have you heard this before?
I know you've heard this before. Where's it from? Like, tell me. And and his working title for it was Scrambled Eggs.
I think I've heard that part.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really interesting story. Yeah. And man, watching the Get Back documentary and seeing just how they just like, it just came to them. Like Paul McCartney's head is an orchestra and he's just like, oh, play this. And it's the most beautiful thing you've ever heard. I love the Beatles. Do you have a bias towards either of the four Beatles?
I mean, I grew up more of a Paul guy and then grew more into a George guy, I guess. But
yes.
But like,
I knew we were friends.
Nice. Yeah, John, I've experienced lead singers before and I know what it's like. So
yeah, but you also enjoy the beating of women.
No. Paul's voice is just better in my opinion. And the songs that he wrote were more fun and more my speed.
I agree. I really like a lot of Paul's solo career, but George's solo career is great.
Mm-hmm.
So many good albums that go deeper than just All Things Must Pass. Like he put out a lot of great stuff. Let's talk one last second about this. Their names, Dirk, Nasty, is it Stieg, and Barry, because the reporter talks about their movie, which is just called A Hard Day's Rut. I like how all of the jokes are exactly the Beatle thing with just one word changed. It's very funny. They had the Rutland sound that would last a lunchtime was really funny. The wordplay is great here. Their first album took 20 minutes to record, and then their second album took even longer than that.
Even longer than that. Real quick, what's your favorite Beatles song?
It's really hard.
I've never heard that one.
I was deep enough down. That's a pretty impossible question for me to answer. I could tell you favorite albums more easily. I love Rubber Soul.
Mm-hmm.
I love Abbey Road.
Okay.
Those are probably my two favorites. Okay. And I love Let It Be. I think Let It Be, if there is one, is the most underrated Beatles album.
Okay.
You?
Probably Sgt. Pepper and White Album.
Any favorite songs?
Favorite song overall, probably Blackbird.
It's a beautiful song.
It's a great song.
Have you ever seen Paul McCartney live?
No.
I saw him in concert once, and it is incredible the reverence that his audience has when he tells a story between songs. All 50,000 people shut the fuck up and listen to what he has to say.
That's pretty great.
Before playing Blackbird, he always does this joke, and he's like, raise your hand if you've ever learned how to play this song on guitar.
Oh, that's me.
And like thousands of people raise their hand, and it's a beautiful moment. And he's like, all right, I'm going to show you how to really play it.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I love
that.
Paul.
I love that.
And I liked the Ruddles.
Well, after the Ruddles, we get a bumper. It's a woman in the audience who is mostly silicone. She looks natural to me.
The bumpers this week are mean.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it.
Yeah. Go get them. But then we get a live sketch. It's Nazi spies. A pair of spies played by Eric Idle and Dan Aykroyd discuss their plans to assassinate Hitler while hunched over a table in a Nazi hangout.
Will give us forged passports and 2 second-class railway tickets to Berlin. Posing as retired school teachers on holiday, we will board the train and seat ourselves in the last car.
Then we pick up Inga at the Hofbrau, have some sauerbraten, and wear some lederhosen here.
Yeah, that English is one hot slice of a goose.
Yeah, we disguise ourselves as traveling acrobats, slip off the train at Strasbourg, cut the telegraph lines, blow the chemical plant, and then we go to...
Then we fly to England, kill Hitler, and steal a plane.
Almost this entire sketch made me really uncomfortable.
Just because there's swastikas everywhere. And
everywhere.
Nazis.
They really overdid it with the set pieces here. Like we could have gleaned the information from the red bands on their uniforms and the boots, but like they went way over the top with it.
I think I can give them it's a different time a little bit. I think making fun of Nazis by using their imagery was a lot more widespread closer to the events. Now that we're farther back and Nazis have reclaimed the swastika and reclaimed being a Nazi, I don't think it's fun or funny to see a silly version of Nazis on camera. But think about back to the days of like the producers and Springtime for Hitler and all of these like really funny moments that do involve like swastikas everywhere. I don't think that's the problem. I think they could have gone like way harder against them.
It makes me upset in this one. Yeah, because they're kind of like they don't really portray them in like a bad light at all in this sketch. They're just kind of like singing these fun songs, and the songs they're singing are really making me uncomfortable. And
the song,
and like now, we still are to this day. We were just talking about it, the Josh O'Connor episode, and now we still are doing the cold open with Nazis, except for he doesn't have a swastika on. He just wears a red tie.
The song that Lorraine is singing in the beginning of it is from the musical Cabaret. It's called Tomorrow Belongs to Me. Do you know Cabaret very well?
No.
It's about the changing tides in Berlin and a nightclub within it for all the freaks as the Nazis start to come to power. The musical and all the songs were written by Jewish men. So they wrote this play about Nazis and being very critical of the times. And they wrote this song as a moment that like the Nazis all gather and sing this song. So at least if they're singing this Nazi song, they picked one written by Jewish people who are writing it against the Nazis.
Okay.
It is uncomfortable for how much they go into it just to have a bit where Eric and Dan are like giving code phrases back and forth.
Yeah, and they're trying to like once they even establish their identity and they're done with the code phrases, now their whole thing is that they're having their conversation and then they have to keep splicing in their fake conversation.
Germanness.
Yeah.
We're going to Inga.
And they think Inga's this voluptuous woman. Turns out to just be
John,
the ranking officer in the room.
It's funny is it Eric who breaks at the end and says in his German accent, or is it Dan who says, we need to kill Hitler.
Oh, it's Dan.
Steal a plane.
Yeah.
That's a funny joke. This would be a funny scene in a comedy about this type of subject matter.
Yeah, it was a weird sketch.
It was a weird sketch.
It didn't really land.
And the Inga does not land or make it worth it.
No.
I like some of the code phrases. It is illegal to record the ring of a telephone. Cats are nothing more than effeminate dogs.
They really are. not even close to that. Don't give them that much credit.
Fuck off. Buzz off, bozo. What's next?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Joe Cocker, and Joe Cocker perform Feeling All Right. Our musical guest returns to the stage to perform Feeling All Right. He's joined by John Belushi and his iconic Joe Cocker impression. The song Feeling All Right was written by Dave Mason of the rock band Traffic for their 1968 album Traffic. Cocker recorded a cover version of the song for his 1969 album With a Little Help from My Friends.
That title, that Beatles song, of course, being one of his most famous covers.
Which I think I've said on the pod before, maybe. Ringo himself said publicly that he liked Joe Cocker's version of that song much better than he liked their own.
I get it, because the original is done in pastiche for the album that they were creating.
Mm-hmm.
This one, his version really breaks into like the lyrics and the feeling and the emotion and the raw energy. It is a great version of a song.
I agree. It's phenomenal. And this song in general that they're doing, Feeling All Right, it's a banger. It's a bop.
I'm not feeling good myself. I know you're feeling all right. Say I'm not feeling too good myself. Oh, you sure took me. Oh, big ride. Even now, that I want to ride. When I think of you, I stop myself a crying. I just can't waste my time.
I need to listen to the original.
Dude, Stuff is awesome.
Dude, they're crushing it.
The two full drum kits. What is with
That's
70s
exactly what I
bands
was
having
about to
fucking
say.
two full drum kits?
Whatever it is, when it cut to them and they're doing their fills, it rips.
Okay, can we also talk about it now because we're into the second song? Howard, and all these talented musicians.
Okay.
Two white drummers. Unbelievable.
Very good.
It's awesome. Because, I mean, normally with the rhythm section this good, I would be trusting a black drummer.
Of course.
100%.
I mean, most of the band is black.
For sure. And then they trust these two white guys on the drums. That's insane. What do these guys do? I love it.
I'm sure these are
very good drummers,
very good musicians in general who just know their instrument. I listened to Stuff's album last night while I was driving, and it is all instrumental, but it is all great and different vibes and songs with melodies so strong for instrumentals that they could be a pop song.
Well, real quick, we get an intro to this song from Eric Idle, and he is playing a character who is Australian, and he's got his Outback safari gear on.
This is one of his characters. His name is Bruce.
His character's Bruce, and he's got these corks hanging from his hat. Is fucking hilarious.
Sings a song about Rover the Drover.
He goes into Rover the Drover, and then Garrett quickly cuts him off.
Oh, Rover the Drover is not what he seems, 'cause he stole the heart of the cow of my dreams. Rover the Drover won't come back no more, 'cause he stole the heart of the cow I adore.
Eric, this song is so deep.
Yeah.
I think we ought to save it for the end of the show, baby.
It's too strong for here.
Yeah,
I'll do it as an encore.
Yeah, right.
I'll do it as an encore, okay.
Oh, yeah, what should we do now for the people, you know?
Well, maybe we better let Joe Cocker sing again.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I want one of the Stuff t-shirts that they're wearing.
Same.
Let's talk first, something I should have said the last time we talked about Joe Cocker, because it's when I noticed it. In the first song, when we first see Joe Cocker in his outfit, you can also so clearly see Joe's cocker.
Oh, okay.
In his white pants, they leave nothing to the imagine.
You were begging for it after that Michelangelo thing.
That's true. They showed us the cock. I didn't even think about that at the time. As soon as it came up, Lil said, "That's his penis."
Oh.
Like, yep, right there.
Right there. Okay.
Also, what do you feel about the Belushi impression being on stage with the real Joe Cocker, and how did you like it?
So I'm a huge fan of when someone comes on SNL that SNL typically does a character of, and they are in on the joke, and they let, like, obviously Miley Cyrus with the Vanessa Bayer. We got Vanessa Bayer again with Jennifer Aniston was a good one.
Who was the Ego Nodum one? Her talk show.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, she was a famous singer. And
it's going to come to me later, and I'm going to be like, fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, there was another one. Obviously, Tina Fey and Sarah Palin as a big one.
Earlier this season, last season, we kind of had it with Gerald Ford.
One of my favorite. Yeah, exactly. That's the closest we've been so far on SNL. One of my favorites is always going to be Andy Samberg being Nick Cage.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Nick Cage sitting next to him. This is maybe one of the best examples I've ever seen on this, is of a cast member doing someone who's in the room and in on the joke. The musical performance is nothing short of iconic.
It is so clear now, watching them do it side by side, how much love is in Joe Cocker's impression.
Yeah.
How much reverence it appears that John really has for Joe Cocker.
Absolutely.
And how much in this performance he defers to Joe Cocker. He looks at what he's doing and then starts doing a little more of it, the grabbing his hair.
The song is a banger. The backup vocals are they're fucking incredible.
Yeah.
The stuff has been fantastic.
Amazing.
Belushi is unreal. And I've never seen him having so much fun.
Yeah.
Like you can see exactly the reverence he has for Cocker. You can see that he wants to be out there doing the impression more, but he kind of like leaves room for Joe Cocker to be the Joe Cocker performance. Fantastic. He
never says anything like it, but you can kind of feel him like looking at Cocker and being like, how am I doing?
Yeah.
And going for the hug at the end and kind of getting it back.
He was being respectful, but was also trying to be the superstar impressionist that he was at the time.
They've got matching red boots and stuffed shirts and white jackets, which is really cute.
It's fucking great.
John does the classic, his version of Joe Cocker chugging a beer, and he gestures it towards Joe Cocker, and he's like, I'm good.
Not right now.
That was awesome. This performance was great. The crowd goes crazy. I was going crazy. This has got to be one of the most iconic musical moments in the show.
Yeah, I think it's among the favorite I've ever seen so far.
Anything else on the Cocker boys?
No, that was some good Cocker.
Okay, we've got another live sketch and pre-tape hybrid. It's Dragnet and Drag Racing Today, where Joe Friday, played by Dan Aykroyd, and his companion, Saturday Morning, played by Eric Idle, wear women's clothing at the precinct until John Belushi finally explains that British drag humor doesn't work in America. More on that later. Afterwards, still dressed in women's clothing, Eric Idle and Dan Aykroyd are going to race on foot. This is nuts.
Look, this works the whole time, okay? It's funny as soon as you see them in dresses because you get the joke. Okay, Dragnet. I get it. Cool. It's Aykroyd being Aykroyd, and Aykroyd doing the voiceover and interacting with his own voiceover is phenomenal.
Just listen to the voiceover.
He's so fucking good at it. He's being Aykroyd, and I'm always going to be on board for that.
The moment when they're getting the call from Garrett in the beginning and Eric is on the phone.
Yes.
But Dan does all the right.
Yes.
Right. Right.
You took it right out of that was my next sentence.
That was very funny.
It's fucking one of the best things.
Right. They check themselves out in the mirror and they roll.
And the way that they married this pre-tape to the live performance was masterful. Like this was like seamless. They're wearing the same stuff. Like everything kind of feels the same.
The character work is consistent.
But you can tell obviously when it's a pre-tape because
it's light outside.
In the crowd, well, obviously would know, but like it was great. The way that they break it down and John Belushi comes in and fourth walls it again.
First, they meet up with Garrett in the pre-tape when they go to this house where someone's impersonating
He's on a
a police
motorcycle,
officer.
Man, it's hilarious.
What's up, Harvey? Man upstairs impersonating a police officer.
Why didn't you move in there yourself?
I've got a snag in my pantyhose.
Right, okay, we'll take care of it. Let's go.
I just think the way that they break it down and Belushi goes fourth wall on it again and starts saying, okay, well, this doesn't work in America. They lull you into thinking that they're going to be done with this joke. And then they show you some drag racing, literal drag racer, like car, like dragster, crowd, pre-tape, B-roll stuff, and then drag racing today. And then you think, okay. You're thinking they're going to go a totally different direction with it. And then no. Here comes Aykroyd and Eric Idle in full drag.
Even more in full drag.
Yeah,
because at first they're more like dressed like Mrs. Doubtfire type drag.
Now this
is like on a stage. I'll put $1 in
burlesque,
your panties. Yeah,
fishnets on both of them.
Man, and they look pretty good, and they move in those heels pretty well.
It's hilarious how well they run in those heels, and they get done, and they're like, "Well, is it working?" Then this is another perfect example of how they married this pre-tape.
They're laughing.
How can you tell they're laughing? I don't know. It's a tape. Well, let's listen. And they were laughing.
A little.
The timing worked.
Yeah.
It was really well done.
They decide to just leave. Eric strips his cover up off and they start holding hands while they walk away. One thing back to the live sketch part. I love the thing about Oh, we're plainclothes officers. You think this is plain? I spent $80 on this frock.
$85 on that. And that same frock was what Belushi was wearing too.
And also before the drag race, when the sketch is breaking down. So this time, Eric and Dan decide to go talk about it in their dressing room. So Eric's just fucking the whole cast over this episode.
Yep.
There are moments.
And John says to him,
if you try it once.
If you do it once.
Yeah.
Remember.
It's not just here. There are moments in John's breakdown about drag not being funny that do feel a little boomer humor, that do feel like punching down. It's not loud and egregious and fully mean-spirited. And definitely the drag portrayals don't really feel too mean-spirited to me. It's like, yeah, it's funny because they're dressed that way, but it's not like making fun of why would somebody dress this way so much. There are just moments that don't hit right, but overall, I think this piece works really well.
It was pretty fun.
And then Lorraine and John. My favorite laugh in this whole thing might be when John is like, well, yeah, I look good in this dress. I look good in anything. That's just how some people are. I just look good no matter what I wear.
Agreed.
That was awesome.
But then we get a bumper.
A man in the audience is doomed.
We all are, bro.
I laughed really hard at this when it popped up because you see the guy, it settles on the guy. You're like, we and the guy are like, what are they going to give me? And it just flashes doomed. It's so dark. It's just a one-word joke, and it works so well for me.
I like it too. Well, then we get Stuff performs Foots. Our second musical guest is Stuff, a jazz fusion band active in the late 70s and early 80s that formed in New York City. They performed the song Foots, the title track of their 1976 debut album, Stuff.
And if you flipped the word foots and made it backwards, it's pretty close to stuff.
It's stoof.
This is a good song. The guitar riff is really strong for me. The
the piano.
The piano is incredible.
On this one, and the two drummers, obviously.
It's introduced by John in drag. He's explaining, well, this might not work in comedy, but let's see how it works in performances. Shouts out all the different artists that Stuff have played with, and Stuff is such a rocking backing band.
Yeah.
And they come they step full into the spotlight to give this pretty good performance of a pretty solid instrumental track. What did you think?
Yeah, I'm into the instrumental track type of thing. Like I have several of them on my regular rotation that I listen to. So this is the type of thing that I'm into sometimes. And yeah, I think the rhythm section killed it here. I was enjoying it.
If you need a vibe one day, their first album is great.
Yeah.
It's called Stuff.
Okay. Use it for Risky Biz Showcase.
It's not a bad idea. Up next, we have something that I find very upsetting to talk about. The undersea world of Jacques Cousteau. It's our live sketch, unless you have anything else on Stuff.
No, I don't.
The voice of Jacques Cousteau, played by John Belushi, narrates a journey within the depths of what turns out to be a goldfish tank. From above, Eric Idle's going to drop cheesecake, wine, coffee, and other items into the tank as demonstration that fish enjoy people food. This is based on a real documentary series. Are you familiar with the real Jacques Cousteau series?
Yep.
It inspired, of course, Wes Anderson's The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
One of my favorite movies.
It's an amazing movie.
Yeah.
In this sketch, it's going to be, it starts making you feel like it's underwater, and then the submarine drops, and it's clearly a prop in a goldfish tank. We zoom out to reveal Eric Idle. Pets and petting is the segment.
Yeah.
This is animal abuse.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing the whole time. I'm like, man,
those are real fish.
Those goldfish
and they're going to die.
Yeah, is there somebody that's going to come get them out of there real quick after they're done?
No, they zoom in and I mean, maybe they do.
Yeah, like that, but they're just pouring alcohol in there. And
alcohol, a full soup, cheesecake,
a whole chicken, that's not cool.
And then at the end, we zoom back into it to see the close-up of the murky water and the fish desperately jabbing at potatoes.
Yeah, they love potatoes.
I
didn't thought. Yeah, my mind was there the whole time, so it was really. I don't know. The Cousteau thing it made me feel like they were going in a fun direction with it.
Yep.
And then it was just these poor goldfish.
Eric Idle brought a lot of his weirdness to the show. This is the strongest example of like, well, some weirdness is harmful, and this might have been kind of funny in the 70s, but it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
It made me as uncomfy as anything the show has shown us so far, because you have to just sit and watch them struggle for so long, and it's all I can think about, and it goes on long enough that this is a great episode.
Yeah.
Like an iconic all-timer episode.
This
moment drug it down a lot for me.
It was not fun to watch.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't have anything else.
Well, next week we're going to feed goldfish hot curry and the cat to the dog.
That I am into.
I guess.
Well, then we get a live sketch. It's Ken Norton. We're back on the Ken Norton thing. Garrett Morris is going to be playing Ken Norton. He insists that he's a better boxer than Muhammad Ali.
And then conflates their contest against each other to like a beauty contest.
Yes.
And they had the swimsuit contest, which he should have won because his cloak or his bathrobe was so much better.
Obviously.
And he's ready for the talent competition, and he sings another beautiful tenor opera moment.
Man, how did he not do something opera with Madeline when she was on? His opera singing is so good.
So I was robbed, the crown is mine, I demand to do my talent spot now. Vesti la Juba, the tenor aria from Pagliacci.
Garrett is so talented. Anytime he does something like this, it sounds beautiful. It's so committed that it makes it silly.
Yeah.
This is such a quick piece. It's really nice to see Garrett get a moment like this on the show.
Agreed.
Even maybe I enjoyed the other singing one better, but this felt more like, oh, we're giving him his character moment like Gilda got to have with Baba Wawa. It's very fun. I like a lot of his moments in this, talking about how much younger and thinner he is than Ali, and then talking about crying like a winner. Because he goes into the beauty pageant thing, and he's the second place, if you'll have to step up and be first place if the first place person can't handle it.
The runner-up for sure.
Yeah, and then Howard Cosell tells him not to cry. I don't know. It's just a nice moment. It's funny. The conflation of boxing and beauty pageant works well. None of it's too obvious. It's fast. It's good.
Well, after that, we get a bumper. Coming up next, more broken promises. Yeah, Zach Pruitt, looking at you.
What do you mean? What promise did I break?
You know what you did, sir.
I'm sorry. Live sketch, Cufflinks of the Gods. Erica V. Donegan,
sure,
played by Lorraine Newman, explores the possibility of the existence of alien comedians.
This short hair and glasses is a good look for
That's my first note.
Yeah, it is.
It did it for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Very much.
With the jacket too, kind of? I don't know. And the accent.
The accent is good. The skull with the bow tie is very funny.
Yep.
I like this concept a lot.
It's funny.
It's a bit of a thinker, but it's also very obvious at the same time.
The fact that when we're doing all this serious research on comedic research on the planet always boils down to the classic Henny Youngman line.
Yeah.
Take my wife. Please.
It's on an old tab written in
Sanskrit.
In Sanskrit. It says, we think it says, take wife. And then if you zoom out on a mountainous landscape, you can see where it's been mysteriously carved. And then it's not just the joke, it is the comedian, because the star of this is the reveal of an island off of where I wrote this down.
It's off the coast of
Peru. Passover Island. It has a huge pair of limestone cufflinks, proving that, kind of like Stonehenge, that these types of comedians and these types of jokes have always been ingrained in culture, no matter what universe you're looking at. It's laugh through your nose funny.
Yeah, it's goofy. It's laugh through your nose funny. It's late in the episode for it. It's a little long, but it's still fun.
I dislike the native chanting, but when it's like, listen to this lost footage and they're all saying, hey-oh.
Yeah.
Hey-oh. Hey-oh.
Which I don't understand, because they're like, then she says that means the joke has gone down independently through a culture. Like, what joke are they talking about?
It's more of a vibe. It's more of a persona.
Okay.
I guess.
All right.
And why would comedians travel through the galaxy? Perhaps to get to the other side.
It's a good joke.
It was weird. I liked what they were doing here. Yeah. I liked the idea more than I liked watching it. And it gave me a new reason to have a crush on Lorraine. So there it is.
There you go.
After that,
we get a pre-tape. It's Pong.
Wow.
While playing Pong, Al Franken and Tom Davis relay the answers to a tough math problem. it's back. Pong's back.
After quite a while.
Yeah. Tom is still wiping the screen with Al, though. This time he's explaining complex math problems to completely freeze him and take a 4-point W.
This conversation took me right back to school, where I'd be like, I don't understand any of this. How did you do well and I did so poorly? The other person's like, oh, it's simple. I just did this and then I did this. Like, none of that makes any fucking sense to me.
What the fuck are you talking about? And this one is funny because Tom is basically just telling him, I really didn't know the answer, but I conveyed that I knew enough that he didn't care. And I'm like, that's exactly how I got through school. I love it. This was fun. Pong was a good time.
It was fun. This is so far on the show always the best of Franken and Davis being on the show themselves. Not so much their writing, but when we bring them on screen, when it's been Pong, it's been good. The other time was bad.
Yeah,
keep the Pong coming.
Let's go Pong. Well, then we get a host portrait. It's Eric Idle. It's caught undressing in a hotel room.
I think he's wearing the red drag underwear.
I think so too.
It's very nice.
Yes.
I like it. It's probably my favorite host portrait too, because it's not really a portrait of him at all. It's like, got ya.
Yep.
And then it's the good nights. Eric Idle, Joe Cocker, and the cast are going to close out the show with a screaming cover of Here Comes the Sun to close it all out like we've been promised. Don Pardo is going to close the show, and thank God he's going to confirm he'll be returning in 2 weeks because old announcers never die. They just fade away.
Icon Don Pardo will be back in 2 weeks, is what he said.
This was a really nice good nights. The group singing together, Joe Cocker getting in on the action. I think I hear somebody say Mr. Chase at one point, I think calling out to Chevy from the stage. It might have even been Eric Idle. I just liked it. Again, I love whenever Eric does the domidi, domidi, domidi. It's so funny because it's what we all do when we listen to that song and we're singing along with it.
If you're a normal person.
I also noticed, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but John is just connected to Joe Cocker in this moment.
Oh, yeah.
And I think at the end, I catch Joe Cocker showing John some mannerisms to help out his impression.
I love it.
He's kind of like, oh, no, I do it this way. And then John's like, oh, this way? Maybe take a look at that moment again. I thought it was very sweet if that's what that was.
I might do that.
Something I never got to mention throughout this whole episode, now that we're closing out talking about Eric Idle, I rewatched Monty Python and the Holy Grail to prep for this episode, and boy, am I glad I did.
I'm probably going to go do that after this.
You should, because I haven't watched it since I was a kid.
Oh, man.
I know so many of the bits, but putting it all back in context, and now with a more active brain that is aware of how smart so much of the silliness is when I used to just think it was silly nonsense. There's so much thought and it's so clever. That movie is so good. And in all these years, it has held up so well.
Oh, absolutely.
There are only one or two very small moments that kind of date it. Overall, it's just a perfect comedy. I love it.
It's one that I've talked about these folks on the show before, but my friends in high school, the four of us, Charlie, Kelly, Whitney, and myself formed what we called the back row, which is where we sat in every one of our English classes from like 6th grade on through. We were in the same English class. We were in the advanced English class from like 6th grade on through all of our schooling. So we got to be very good friends. And this movie connected us for sure. We loved this movie. And I have a hard time picking my favorite scene in this movie. It's one of those, it's like Lebowski. Like, what could be your favorite scene? There's so many good ones. Closing segments. How you feeling?
The thing that I noticed is, I'm still thinking of Holy Grail, the storyline where they kill a reporter, and throughout the movie you just see like little moments of like the FBI, and then the ending of the movie,
the investigation. That's how they end the movie.
The ending of the movie. I've seen the movie before, and it still had me being like, do I have the wrong version of this movie?
As a kid, it felt more random, but then as an adult, I see the runner more and more. Like,
But the credits being all in the beginning.
The credits are so fun.
So then it just starts playing this like organ music, and it's a black screen, and I keep thinking like, oh, this is a joke, and they're going to cut back to the real ending where they find the Holy Grail. I feel like I remember a scene where, no, that's it?
That's it.
That's awesome.
It's a brilliant movie.
Closing segments. You start. Host, thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm going to give him thumbs up. It's Eric
Thumbs
Idle.
up. Yeah. I don't like the Jacques sketch.
I will say that as a Monty Python guy, and Holy Grail is the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Life of Brian's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like History of the World's okay. Like
that's Mel Brooks, I'm pretty sure.
You're right. There's another
Meaning of Life.
Meaning of Life, yeah. Meaning of Life's pretty good. There's nothing like Holy Grail.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. It's the peak of what they did, in my opinion. I was expecting a lot from Eric Idle here. I didn't get that. but I still am giving him a thumbs up.
I think, thumbs up as well. But I think he came to play.
Yeah.
And I think he came with a lot of ideas for the show.
Which,
more than ideas for him to perform on the show.
Which is, it was like
in some ways better.
A mentor from the Monty Python going, like, hey, us geniuses over there, here's how we do.
What if the monologue host just walks and sits down and he's in the sketch?
That's fucking
because
awesome.
of that, huge thumbs up. We may never know what was truly his idea and what was the writer's idea, but regardless, what Monty Python means to comedy and Eric Idle being at the show inspired a lot. And I think it's a big thumbs up for that.
Same.
What about the musical guests?
Thumbs up.
For both of them?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Stuff is awesome.
Yeah,
and Joe Cocker, I get it. I don't know if I'm going to be listening to a lot of Joe Cocker, but if I ever see a video pop up of him performing, I'm going to be locked in.
But like, I got to tell you, even sitting by myself in my room, like I fell asleep watching this episode last night. And then like you, I got up early this morning and watched it. And I woke up to some terrible news about Rob Reiner. But even with that, I'm watching this episode. And as soon as I could see that there were 2 microphones for that second song, I was like, oh shit. And then, I'm watching it and I'm like, man, this feels special.
I remember one of the times John was Joe Cocker in the past, us talking about, I think Joe Cocker comes on the show and I was almost kind of nervous for that and seeing like, oh, are they going to like make fun of him? And then seeing the 2 come together and it isn't it is, but it isn't making fun of him. It's honoring him and giving him big ups. I really love that moment.
One of those moments that we didn't talk about earlier was when there's a politician that lost his eye in Iraq, I think.
Okay.
And then he wears an eye patch. And I think it wasn't Bill Hader, it was Fred Armisen used to do him on Weekend Update.
Okay.
And then he came on the show.
Really?
And that was one of those like weird ones where we're like, we've been making fun of this guy pretty hard. You know, like, how's this gonna go? I don't know. This was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
What about a best sketch of the night?
K-Log.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going K-Log because I don't think anybody could do that but Aykroyd.
Yeah.
And it was it was neat to watch.
I am so close between what I wrote down and switching. I think I'm going to stick with genetic counseling.
I figured you would.
Really love that sketch, and because of the way it starts.
The way it starts is amazing.
The wordplay and the Eric Idleness of it. It is really, really close between that and K-Log.
But it makes sense
so
that you
impressive.
would go with one that features at least a few more people and like kind of has more about it as a sketch.
I think it made me laugh more.
Like K-Log
is why I give it to it.
It's just Dan's talent. It's just watching. It's
so
just
impressive.
watching unbridled talent.
He's so good.
Yeah.
MVP, not right. Speaking of,
easy.
Both of us, I'm sure it's Dan Aykroyd.
It's Aykroyd, not just for that, but for
everything.
The E-Flicks.
He's great in that. He's great in that. He's also good in the Nazi sketch. He's good at. He's good in everything. He's great in the Dragnet sequence.
Yeah.
He's just good in everything.
The voiceover.
I think Eric Idle got a good man to work off having a 1-2 punch of the 2 of them. I would have loved a movie of the 2 of them together. I think they work really well together.
We've talked about Aykroyd's origin with his fast talking stuff being the fact that he grew up in a bilingual household where most of his mother's side spoke French because he's from Quebec.
Right.
And so like the fast wittiness of it, that's going to be a natural thing for Aykroyd, and I think that's what sets British humor apart from American humor in the most cases, is that it's so quick and witty, and that you just like, you hit the joke, you move on, you hit the next joke, you move on, you hit the next joke, and it's like,
it's not until the next day when you're like, oh my God, that was hilarious.
Yeah, leave them laughing whenever on their own time. You got stuff to get in there. Like I think that works with Eric Idle's sensibilities.
Well said. Great Dan episode.
Yeah.
Good episode. Overall episode rating
7.25.
Really? I would have expected you to go higher.
There was no sketch besides K-Log that I was like, this sketch is awesome. Like I think there was a lot of really
Killer
solid
Bees?
sketches. There's another really
Dragnet?
good one, like solid sketches, but none of them that I thought were amazing sketches. And the musical guests were really great. I think it was overall a really good episode, but I think there will be higher ones.
Oh yeah.
The musical guest almost brought this one up a lot for me because, like I said, I think I was expecting
the Joe Cocker moment.
I was expecting more out of Eric than I got. I was pleased with what we got, but like I expected it to be like unforgettable.
Last week when we were like, Eric Idle hosts the next episode. Yeah. If it wasn't for the goldfish torture sketch,
I think that that hurt too.
This would have maybe been my highest rated episode yet.
Cool.
Just that one thing. So I'm at an 8.
Okay,
I think I gave one episode a little higher.
We've only had a couple of 8s so far.
A couple of 8s. I did one that was like an 8.2. It's up there with the best of the show so far. It's really, really good. Really,
you get
fun.
a host that knows how to play in this type of arena, and it's going to be a good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. I probably could have gone higher because of how much I like the musical guests and how they're really. There's not any bad sketches. I don't know. Did the Nazi one made me feel weird too?
I get it.
So like that kind of drug it down a little bit.
I was instantly into that one because I love Cabaret, and I was like, oh, it's a song from Cabaret. Maybe this is a Cabaret sketch, and then it went into something strange. Okay, it was whatever.
Yeah.
Well, what's next week?
We get actress, singer, screenwriter, and songwriter Karen Black hosts the show with musical guest John Prine in an episode that originally aired on October 16th, 1976, 9 years to the day before We Got Me.
Aw, sweet.
Yay.
John Prine, iconic.
Okay.
Do you not know who John Prine is by name?
Not one time.
I don't really know who Karen Black is.
Same.
We'll figure out next week. Sometimes it's just as exciting to get those episodes where we don't know it, so we can go in without any expectations of host performance.
Which is how I felt about Buck Henry, which is how I felt about Elliot Gould, which is I had a little bit of Elliot Gould because I knew who he was, but like, there's been a few. Diane Cannon was an okay episode.
Definitely Diane Cannon. Well, it's time to say goodnight. I want to thank the Circle 2 Lounge at Disc Golf Mart Indianapolis for being the home of this podcast.
Yeah. Thanks, Circle 2 Lounge. Appreciate you.
I want to thank the fellas over at Four Finger Discount for letting us use their platform to do this silly nonsense. I want to thank Zach Hall for sitting across from me.
You're welcome, buddy.
I want to thank Rob Reiner.
Yeah, for all the laughs and for all the feels.
Yeah.
Really, really sad to hear. As more details will come out, I'm sure it will get even worse. We can only look for the silver lining in the work that he gave us and left us with.
Yeah.
So,
we'll
try to do that. I would like to thank
please
you as well for hosting this podcast and having us do this thing.
I love it.
I
love it every week.
Thank every single person that's listened. I think we eclipsed a number that we are impressed with without doing any promotion whatsoever. So, and we saw the Spotify Wrapped. Thanks for listening to us in other countries. That's pretty cool. Just want to thank you guys out there because it's been a tough week. So connect with us any way you can at Sat Night Dive Pod on Facebook, Instagram,
Twitter.
And then Saturday Night Dive Pod at gmail.com.
Send us corrections. Send us icebreakers. We love hearing the angry thoughts that our podcast makes pop up into your brain.
Indeed.
And subscribe to the show on YouTube if you haven't yet. On YouTube, we post the podcast with the video versions of the clips we play intact. And we have also been releasing mini dives where we talk about the most recent episodes of Saturday Night Dive, or of Saturday. We do episodes where we talk about our own podcast before they happen.
We'll get there.
We do episodes where we talk about the latest episode of SNL, and we usually release it before the final podcast comes out. So if you want to hear our thoughts on new SNL as soon as it's edited, YouTube is the place to find it.
And when I stop being lazy, we are going to start recording our video on us as well.
Horrifying.
Whatever.
Thank you so much for listening, Zach Hall. We need some levity in this cold, sad world. Give us some last words.
Ask for Gary. Tell him Crazy Kip Casey sent you.